Chapter 8, Section 9, Congruent Figures. Congruent means same size and same shape. Both of these have to fit for two shapes or two pieces to be congruent. So let's look at our first set of polygons and see if we decide if they're congruent or not. Well, they both have 8 sides, so they are the same shape, but I can tell just by looking at them that they really are not the same size, so they are not congruent figures. If I look at my pieces of my pie in number 2, these are equally proportioned sections of my circle, so I would agree that they are the same shape and they are the same size. So these pieces of my circle are congruent. Let's now talk about the side-by-side rule. The corresponding sides, notice it's only in triangles, will always be congruent if the corresponding sides are congruent. Corresponding angles will be congruent if the corresponding sides are congruent. So when we do triangles, they're going to be pretty easy because all we have to worry about are the angles and the sides. So polygons, it's a different story. For polygons with more than 3 sides, so quadrilaterals and up, it is not enough to compare the measures of their sides. So triangles are going to be easy for us, but the other polygons are not going to be so easy. So let's find some buddies. Let's find some corresponding sides to help decide if our shapes are congruent. So we're going to be looking at these two polygons, and we're going to try to see what sides are congruent to each other. Well, I see a 30 millimeter. And I see a 30 millimeter. I see a 17 millimeter, and I see a 17 millimeter. I see a 23 millimeter, and I see a 23 millimeter. I'm running out of colors, but I see a 30 millimeter, and I see a 30 millimeter. And now I see a 20 millimeter and I see a 20 millimeter. So everybody has a partner except for number 28 millimeters. So this side here is 28 millimeters. And we can do the same thing with our angles inside. Now I'm going to make it easy on myself. Here's my yellow side and my squared in blue side. Well, here's my yellow side and my newfound blue side. So what is the measure in between? It's 110 degrees. So my missing angle is 110 degrees. Let's look at our next set of shapes. We have a trapezoid, one set of parallel lines. So I'm going to find some matches. Trapezoid, 70 degrees, 70 degrees, 70 degrees, 70 degrees. I see a 110 and a 110. I only have one 110 here, so this must be 110 degrees. And let's look at our side lengths. I have 18 on the bottom on my long side, so I bet this is 18. My sides going up are 6, so B must be 6. And my little short side is 11, so A must equal 11. Finding corresponding sides and angles. So let's do that with these triangles. Are they congruent? Well, let's see. I have a 5 centimeter and a 5 centimeter. I have an 8 centimeter and an 8 centimeter. I have a 7 centimeter and, an 8 centimeter. These corresponded, but these two did not correspond. These are not congruent. And we just did this set up on the other page, so we're not going to bother with that set again. We've already done that one. Let's look at this one, our pentagons, and see if we can find corresponding sides. Here's 115. Here's 115. 115 degrees, 115 degrees. So this corresponds with this. We have 110 degrees corresponding with 110 degrees. Let's see, what else do we see here? Well, here's another 115 on our base and another 115 on our base. Here's a 100 and a 100. So we have one angle that does not have a partner. We have a 100 here, and it should match up with that. So my missing angle degree is 100 degrees. All right, let's get rid of that for our sides now. So let's look at our side measures. JKLM, congruent, remember that's the symbol for congruent, to VWXYZ. So if LM is congruent to XY, LM is congruent to XY. So they told us they matched, so if XY is 7 inches, then LM is also 7 inches. And we need to figure the length of VW. So here's VW right here. Who is the corresponding side for VW? Well, 7 matches 7 here, so it's not that. So this is the corresponding side over here. So if JK is 9 inches, then VW also has to be 9 inches. Let's do another set of corresponding sides. Let's see. ABCD corresponding to EFGH. They are congruent. So let's see. Line AB. Well, here's AB. What would you say is the corresponding side to AB? If you said FE, you were right. So it is, oops, I'm not supposed to put the number, I'm supposed to put the side. So AB corresponds to FE, and I had to put my line segment marked to make sure I'm doing it right for identification. So now we're going to look at an angle, DAB. DAB, we're back up on top, should correspond to this angle on this side. So what will we call that? As long as we have E in the middle, it doesn't matter if we say FEH or HEF, as long as we have the E in the middle. All right, line segment GH. Let's erase that so we can see better. Line segment GH is right here. What would that correspond with? On my figure here, I would say that it corresponds with that. So line segment DC, or of course you could have called it CD. Doesn't matter which way you mark them. And our last one is an angle again, GFE. So I'm going to find GFE. I'm going to erase this other line so it's not confusing for us. GFE. And what does that correspond with? Here's the side here, CBA. As long as I have B in the middle, I'm fine naming it CBA or ABC. So angle ABC. Alright, that was corresponding sides and congruent figures.